Hi, this is AI Wisdom that gives you the AI wisdom. In this lesson, I'll be talking about the bottom-up algorithm. Now we have been talking about the top-down algorithm. So basically, the top-down algorithm start from the beginning and start with the whole string A and B. So it's a B, C, D, and B, D, and then iterate down to the bottom to the very last character, and then try to get the result from the bottom and populate up, and start from the above again, go to the bottom left to the last character and start to get the result up. So this is the top-down approach, start from the top. Now we introduce the algorithms, the memoization table. Now for the bottom-up approach, it also needs a table, a dynamic programming table. And the bottom-up approach is centered on building the table. Now let's see how the bottom-up approach works. Now first of all, in this bottom-up approach, we are also considering comparing the string of BD and ABCD. Now we have extra rows and columns in the front to make the computation easier. So every rows and columns, so for example, this cell represents the comparison of BD and A. So BD and A is, the LCS of BD and A is 0. So the value here is 0. And we start from the beginning to introduce how this algorithm is populated, the value here. Now the first value that to be populated is starting from 1, 1. So you can see that I is starting from 1 and J starting from 1 and to the length of S1. So the length of S1 is 2. So this is 0, 1, 2. So it will be until 2, and this one is until 4. And we have take this empty string into account. Now let's say if we're starting from this position and we detect that if these two is equal, then we will be doing this. But for if they are different, they'll be doing this. So the first position B and A is different. So we'll be doing this one. We'll be taking the maximum of the I-1 J, which is this one, and J minus 1, which is this one, and take the maximum. And the maximum is 0. So the value is populated here. And you can see that if we do not have these extra columns and rows, if we starting from here 0, 0, and if the program is 0, minus 1, it is a value of minus 1, which is non-existent in the array. Then we need to do extra checking, do an extra if here for the minus 1 value, which makes this program longer. Therefore, having these extra rows and columns makes the life easier. Now let's continue with the population of the table. So we start from this position. We have a 0 here. Then to move to the next one, we do the similar checking of this A and D, whether they are equal, not equal. Then we to take the maximum of these two value, which is the LCS of, for this case, it is BD and the empty string. And for this case, it is B and A. So both are 0 as well. And in such a case, we use the maximum of them, which is also 0. Right, so let's move to another interesting case, which is when B and B is the same. So in such a case, we will be taking the value diagonally, which is this one, and plus 1, which is become this one. So similarly, why we take this value, it is similar to the top-down case we mentioned just now. So for example, if we have a A, B, and B, this is the A, B, and B, and this is the same, then we will be comparing the A with the character here, which is empty string. And we found that this is 0, and 0 plus 1 is 1. So this is a similar case we are doing in a top-down thing. So you can see the equation is pretty similar. Just that we are building this table bottom up from the very simplistic case, like comparing the starting of the character B and A, and then BD and A, and then B and AB, and then D and AB. So we do this continuously until the last one. So the last one is a D and D. So D and D. So they are the same. So we are comparing the things before, which is A, B, C, and B. So for this case, this is 1. So 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, and we get the ultimate value. Now we get the ultimate value of the length of the LCS, which is 2. And how do we get back the string? Now this is similar to the case of the top-down table. Now we start from the ultimate value, which is 2, and then going back. So we go up and see whether this is equal, and go left to see whether it is equal. No, then the value must become from this 1, and therefore D must be contributed to the LCS. And we move up to 1, see whether this is anything equal. Up, yes, we move up to 1. So this is not equal, we don't care about it. And move out to 1. Is there anything equal? No. So it must be coming from diagonal. So 0 plus 1 is equal to 1. So B must be contributed to this longest common subsequence. So ultimately, we move out to 0, and then there is no value left. So the longest common subsequence string is BD. And for the space and time complexity, you can see that we need a space to store the table, which is m times n, and we need the time to populate each cell in the table, which also need the time of m times m. So the space and time complexity are both m times n. And in the subsequent videos, I'll be showing you the live coding session with the top-down and bottom-up algorithms. Thank you. Please like the video if you feel that it helps you. And please subscribe to the channel if you want to find out more materials useful for your AI wisdom. I will be continuously updating materials that are related to AI, such as machine learning, data science, and algorithm in this channel. See you then!